Sounds good.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is James, also known as Just Some Nerd, and welcome to the inaugural Just Some Nerd cosplay live stream here on Facebook. So, here in a second, we're going to bring in my friend Kaylin. You guys probably know her as Night Fury Cosplay, and if you don't know her, you may recognize her as the super badass, intimidating Winter Soldier cosplayer that you've probably seen around at a couple of events with the black face paint over her eyes and stuff. And then you maybe finally got up the nerve to walk up and ask her for a photo, and then you discovered that she's maybe not as intimidating as she looks, and you probably say to yourself, "Oh wow, you're a girl. You look so scary and badass as the Winter Soldier." So, without any further ado, Caitlin, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. How is your quarantine pandemic lifestyle treating you?
Watched way too many movies to count. Still working. So that's been
Yeah.
keeping a lot of my time.
What
So
what's
I want to
been
put on this suit, but I can't. Haven't had any time to do anything.
well, you could have put it on right now. You could have really shown off to everybody if you
Gone all
just
out.
yeah, you just went all out. Um so what has been the go-to Netflix while you've been stuck in quarantine, or Disney Plus or whatever?
I'm currently binge watching NCIS. That has
NCIS.
been my go right now. I'm on
I
season 14,
How many seasons are there?
18, I think.
Oh man, you're
Yeah.
just flying through it.
That's why I
So
put it on while I'm sitting at work.
I noticed that Community came on Netflix just recently, and so that was a show that, like, when it was kind of in its prime was when I was attending community college myself, and it just everything in that show just rings so true. And I don't know. Have you ever watched that before?
Watched a couple of the episodes, but I haven't
Yeah.
watched the whole thing.
Well, one of the characters is just obsessed with television, and he just has to have like stuff to binge watch all the time, and he got into this British show, and you know how like a lot of British shows only have like 5 or 6 episodes in a season, and he got really into it, and then when he realized that there was only like 9 episodes total, he just kind of went nuts because he didn't have anything else to watch, and then that led him to discovering their like sort of fictional version of Doctor Who, which has been on the air for 40 years and has like hundreds
Oh yeah.
of episodes, and then he just becomes obsessed with that, and he's just binge watching 40 years of fake Doctor Who. So maybe that's what you should have. You probably wouldn't have
Yeah.
run out of stuff there. All right, so
No.
we gotta talk about Winter Soldier, because that's the costume that everybody kind of knows you for. So
Yep.
what inspired you to like go so big on that, and you really kind of gave it your own kind of fun, like, badass sort of look to it. I mean, he's pretty badass the way he is, but you kind of took it a step further with all your kind of face paint and stuff that you did with it.
So it actually started out. It wasn't my main pick. When it's actually the first cosplay I've ever done is the Winter Soldier, um, and my friend wanted to be Captain America, and so we were trying to figure out what I could do with him. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just be the Black Widow. That's fine. But then I stumbled across a couple pictures of females doing a gender bended version of the Winter Soldier. And when I saw those pictures, I was like, this is so cool. I totally want to do this. Like, let's do this. And started building it. And then I first wore it for the Cincinnati Comic Expo in 2018. And I didn't go as scary or as intimidating with it when I did it that way. I was still portraying the female when I did it the first time. And I was like, this is cool. Let me just play with it a little bit. And wanted to work on the makeup. And I'm not good at makeup at all. So I was trying to figure out how to make him look scarier without having to be all super fancy with like doing shadowing and highlighting and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna mess with different things, and figured out that the all black on my face really made it look like I was less female and more male. And so I just
kind of helped with the illusion a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely in the same boat as you with talking about not being particularly talented with the makeup. When I decided I wanted to start doing my Jack Sparrow cosplay, that was pretty much the first time I had ever tried to do anything like that, and just watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot more makeup videos than I had ever watched before, and just kind of stumbled my way through it. And lucky for me, Jack, his makeup's pretty messy, so you don't have to be too like precise about it. You're able to keep it a little sloppy, and you kind of get away with it.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious because my makeup collection has gone from like 2 or 3 pieces to this like whole tub of stuff because I've got different eyeshadows, different like face paints, different like temporary mask. It was all of those different things, trying to figure out what works best for the makeup for him.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Cosplay is definitely one of those hobbies where you just sort of like occur like unusual amounts of the strangest things. Like, every cosplayer just has like a cardboard box full of scraps of foam laying around, and just random bits of fabric that you're not going to throw it away because you might be able to make you might need it later for something, even if it's just the smallest, weirdest, insignificant thing.
Oh yeah.
So I've got a whole bunch of photos that you gave me here, kind of going through the evolution of your Winter Soldier cosplay. And we've got some of your Captain America cosplay too, which I see you've got behind you there on your mannequin.
Oh yeah, we display. Cap sits on a display in the living room.
Very cool. Yeah, you got several Buckies back there too.
I'm trying to figure out how to do Bucky on a mannequin, but my arm is in 2 separate pieces and they're not attached. So I'm going to have to do like one of the mannequins that has like the full arm pieces on it.
I have one mannequin, and I it's okay. But really the Jack costume's the only costume I have that would really fit on it. The Ghostbusters one would fit okay, but the fingers are like molded together, and the feet is how it like attaches to the base, so you can't put shoes on it, and you can't put gloves on it. So it prevents me from putting my like Spider-Man costume or my Batman costume or something like that on it, which would be nice if I was able to do that.
Right.
All right. So let's
this was a happy accident with the mannequin.
Happy accidents are the best kind of accidents.
Exactly. Walk into a store closure and it was like, there's a mannequin for $10, and I was like, I'll take it.
I got mine on Amazon. I don't think it's too bad for what it is. So here I've got one of your let's say hi to Ryan. He's giving us a comment. How's it going, man?
Look, I'm just gonna highlight the fact that I decided to wear my Orcs t-shirt for this, Ryan.
Perfect. Here, let's show that off. There it is. Show us the t-shirt now.
There we go. We got the Orcs.
Is that the t-shirt?
Into the cosplay.
Is that the ones they had at LexCon last year?
Yes. Yeah. It's their actual t-shirt for 2019.
2000. Well, since we mentioned LexCon, I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Because I don't know if you saw it or not, but they did kind of finally throw in the towel as far as trying to reschedule for this year, which is understandable.
Right. Yeah, it was kind of one of those, we were just waiting for the ball to drop at this point, which is sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I really appreciate all of their efforts to try to make it work this year, but it was definitely a losing battle at this point, and it was, it's, even if they were able to have it, it wasn't going to be able to be, what it normally is and what they wanted it to be, and a lot of people would, probably choose not to come anyway, and I'm sure a lot of the guests don't want to have to, travel on airplanes and things like that right now. That can't be a fun place to be right now.
No, it's just a bigger risk than it needs to be at this point. So I am sad that they canceled it, but at the same time, I think we all can totally understand why they canceled it.
Yeah, absolutely. I am excited because the team that does the Lexington Con is taking over the con in Huntington, which I've always kind of enjoyed that convention myself. You've probably never been to that one before, but I'm definitely excited to see what they do with it and see kind of how it evolves into kind of a bigger thing. So, but as far as I know, that as of right now, they're still planning to have that one, so that's kind of exciting.
Right. I think
even
that
if it does.
I've heard that. Cincinnati, I heard, is still right now.
What month is Cincinnati in September? I can't even remember.
I can't remember if it's the end of September or if it's in the beginning of October.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
I don't know. Hopefully it works out for them. All right, so let's check out some of your old cosplay pictures here. So is this from the first time you did the Winter Soldier?
So this is actually the inspiration picture that I found on Pinterest that had me wanting to do a Winter Soldier cosplay.
I was gonna say, how old were you in that picture? I was like, you must have been like, you look. This girl looks so young. I was like, wow, you must have started cosplaying when you were like 14 or something.
No, that is not me. I wish I had the username for the individual who did do this one, but I stumbled upon it on Pinterest and I was like, this is so freaking cool.
All right. So is this you or is this the same girl?
Same girl, different picture.
Okay,
angle.
It's Segreylerg, Sergeylerg is the watermark on the photo. So maybe that's her, maybe that's the photographer. I don't know, but that's pretty cool shot. Okay, now here you are.
Here we go.
Here in Cincinnati. So is this your first time doing it? Wearing the costume? Yeah.
This is the first time I wore the Winter Soldier costume. And after I've looked back at these pictures, I've just...
Well, I told you I wanted some of your early shots so we could kind of see the evolution of it. I thought that would be fun.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, and I'm proud of how far it's come since then, so I'll gladly show off the first try.
I don't have it right here in front of me to bring up really quick, but I love doing the side by sides in the first time I ever tried to do the Jack Sparrow costume because it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. So this is from the same event.
Yep. Different poses. And it's the first time I'd ever worn a cosplay to an event, like not hardcore, but like really gone for it, and I had no idea what I was doing. They're like, pose for pictures, and I was like, well, I can't move the left side of my body. You can't use my face. Like, what do you want me to do?
So you said your friend went as Captain America, or was that for something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so he did. He ended up going as Captain America.
Okay, but he didn't make the pictures?
No, he did not.
All right. So is this from later that year? We see the makeup is starting to evolve now.
Yeah, so this was, I want to say, this was actually Trick or Treat from that year. So probably maybe a month after. This is where I started to play with the makeup a little bit more. So I still did the braided hair and was still trying to do that gender bended version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe it's the same paint on the arm, so that hadn't really changed. But I terrified trick-or-treaters that
Yeah, I can see that. You're a little frightening. I remember I have a fairly strong memory of the first time I saw you in this costume, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at her. I mean, I think I knew you were a lady, but I mean, you were definitely you had you were mean mugging everybody, that's for sure, and you had all the black face paint. I was like, oh man, that is cool. Now this is a nice shot. When's this from? Or
this is actually Lexington last year.
Okay, yeah, that's a really cool shot.
From LexCon last year.
Do you know who took this one?
That is the shot from the on-site photographer.
Okay, like at the end of the costume contest or something?
Yeah, it was the same group. They're the ones who did the free photo, free photo shoot. So that's who that is, and I'm terrible, especially with the first year. I
Yeah.
was still learning to try to get everybody's names and stuff
Oh no.
down.
Yeah, that's understandable. Now you've got a little bit of a head start on everybody else because you're already used to wearing these mouth and nose masks.
The running joke at work has been, "Hey, Caitlin, are you gonna wear the Bucky mask to work now?" And I'm like, guys, you don't understand how hard it is to breathe in that thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're probably going to have to do it at least once just to make
right?
everybody.
I gotta do it one time.
Yeah, just to make everybody happy. Okay, here's another good one. This is a good look at the mask. His scary eyes.
Yep.
So, how about this? I keep activating. Sorry, I keep activating Siri on my computer every time I say something. Go away, Siri. I'm not asking you a question. Okay. So tell us about the shield a little bit, because that's a heavy, metal replica, right?
Yes. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio replica of the actual shield that they used in the movies. Obviously, I'm a huge Captain America fan. So when I graduated from college 2 years ago, and I got my first job, I was like, the shield is what I want to buy myself as my graduation gift to myself.
Yeah.
And I had actually met the creator of this shield at Wizard World Columbus the same year that I unknowingly met you and took pictures with you and your Captain Jack.
I don't remember that. I mean, I've forgotten that story.
I showed you a picture at the baseball game.
I believe you, but my memory is... I have the kind of memory that absolutely does not remember things like that.
It was one of those funny things where you got in your suit for one of the Florence Freedom games, and I was like, I have met you before, and I pulled up my phone, and I was like, yeah, no, there's definitely a picture that exists.
That happens at conventions a lot. You definitely you're like, I remember you, but you had pink hair and you were green. Oh, yep. That's not what you really look like.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's hilarious when I meet all of my cosplay friends out of character, out in the Bucky suit. That's a whole nother story.
You show up at the dinner, after con dinner, and people are like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah, no, it happened. It's Cincinnati this past year. I walked in and I was like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And everybody was like, "Do we know you?" And I was like, I'm normally Bucky." And everybody was like, "No, you're not." I was like, "Yeah, no, I am."
Oh, it's funny. All right, so do you remember who created this shield?
Yes. So that shield, his name is Casey. He is on Etsy under Shield Labs. He is the one who created my shield. It is beautiful. It's heavy duty. I love it. It actually hangs up on my wall when I'm not using it. It's not
I see you've got corner. Kind of an old school cap shield on your wall there. Is that one just a poster, or is that a prop too?
That is actually, well, it's not a prop, but it is metal.
Yeah.
So it was metal work done. I actually got that at Fanboy Knoxville this past year.
That's pretty cool.
And I want to get a replica of the original one to hang.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So here's another cool shot. This is Wes. You can definitely recognize his work pretty quickly. But
yes.
This is an awesome shot. You got the scary eyes peeking up over your mask.
Getting the whole character down by this point. I was like, okay, we're gonna go with the scary character at this point.
That's fun.
Which is fun. I think the scary characters are fun, especially with like something like this. Especially when people think I'm a guy and then they ask me a question and I'll answer in my voice and everybody's like, what?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you look legit in that one. So is this one looks like it's maybe a little bit older?
This is actually Knoxville last year. Okay. I was messing with my hair styles at this one. Like, let me just mix it up and do a different. Oh, I wonder who took that picture.
Yeah. This is one of mine. This was at it was at the mini-con that they had at Lexington last year. Like, do they call it? Like Fanboy Expo or something like that? I can't remember. It had a different name, and it was like just artists, and they didn't have the celebrities and stuff, I think.
Yeah, it was a mini one, but it conveniently actually happened on the same day that I had been asked to come down to Lexington
Right.
for the superhero 5K. So I was like,
Right.
I'll go over afterwards, and I was
Yeah.
already dressed.
Yeah. So, well, the little bit of the nerdy photographer backstory for this, that I was kind of in the similar boat as you. Justin and Miranda, they wanted to have their engagement photos taken in Lexington that weekend, and we kind of picked that date because it was that convention too, so we could all get
Yeah.
together and hang out. And I had decided to rent some photography equipment to use for their engagement photos, and I had rented this fancy lens that I hadn't used before, and that's what I used on these photos of you and the photos that we took of them for their engagement shots. And I was so amazed by how well it turned out that I had to pony up the money to buy it so I could have it anytime I wanted. And then this is another shot from that same day.
These are fantastic photos. I mean,
Yeah.
they're probably some of my favorites.
Yeah, I was really pleased with these. That they're beautiful. So here we got a side by side comparison of you and what's his Sebastian Stan, is that his
Fashion
name?
and
Yeah.
yep,
It's pretty dang close.
right. It's kind of hard to find pictures of him. They didn't take a lot of photos with the mask on and where he has
Right.
like the eye black on.
Uh-huh.
So I
So
had to kind of work with what I could find.
so which film is this one from? This is from Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
So my suit is off of the Winter Soldier. His suit is technically off of Civil War.
Okay.
So this is his version is the next version.
Here's another. This is from what? This is in
OhioCon.
Columbus, right? Yeah, so this is the
Yeah.
OhioCon here in just back in January, which feels so long ago now.
So long. And it's so sad 'cause that's the last time I've really had it on
Right.
too. Was we had the
I'm the
picture.
same. February and March, or well, early March, I had kind of, stepped away from the conventions and stuff because there wasn't anything too local, and I didn't really feel like going to Chicago for C2E2 this year, which I'm kind of, glad I didn't in hindsight. But
Right.
come early March, I was really kind of itching to go to a convention again, and then all of a sudden everything started getting canceled and postponed.
Oh
Here's
yeah.
another shot from that. We got really lucky because it was just kind of starting to rain a little bit right then, so we got all those cool reflections, like all the
Oh yeah.
all the rain and stuff, and created all these cool looks. Here's your Cap and Bucky confused, got a little bit of a mashup going on.
So with the comic books, there is an evolution in the comics where Bucky
Okay.
takes up the shield as Captain America.
Okay.
So this was my kind of first attempt at trying to do that.
Uh-huh.
Bucky's suit, when he's Cap, he's got a little bit more black on the sides, and
Yeah.
obviously he has to cut out where the arm is. So you can see the full arm in his suit, which I'm working on being able to do. But
So we got a question. Brandon is asking where you bought your arm from. I assume he means your Metal Winter Soldier arm.
so my arm is actually from Amazon.
Oh, really?
I tried to make it originally out of foam, and it just wasn't working the way that I needed it to. I had never worked with foam before, so I was like, if it doesn't work, I'm just going to try something else.
Yeah.
And Amazon had this plastic version of the arm, and I was
Really?
like, I'll just get this and I'll work with it, and then later on I'll get a new one and I'll upgrade and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It fit a Sebastian Stan size individual. Sebastian Stan is
He's like what,
like
6'5" or something like that, probably.
he's like 6'3", and he's a lot more built than I am.
Yeah.
So I actually took the entire inseam out of the original arm and had repainted it, remorphed it so it actually looked more like it fit me.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking like I only worked out one side of my entire body.
All right. So who's this? I don't recognize this guy.
So this is Ross. I'm gonna butcher his last name. Marquez.
Marquand.
He is the actor who portrays the Red Skull in Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Yep. There we see him sticking out back there. That's pretty cool.
So that was neat. That was at Louisville this past year.
All right, so we got some orcs representing here in the background.
Yes, that was when I was working at the booth and had people come by and grabbed a couple pictures, and that was probably the first solid picture I have of Cap.
Yeah, well, this is a really good shot of your Cap suit here.
Yeah, my little sister actually took that picture.
Oh yeah, awesome. I think you do an awesome job with your kind of beat up, bloodied, blood splattered face there. I think that really adds a lot. I think that looks cool.
Yeah, I like the battle worn versions. I think it just adds more. And a lot of the females that do a Cap, they'll do like the very clean cut,
right? Yeah,
the 40s style. And I was like, I want to try to do something different with it. So it was like, I like battle worn. I threw in some Viking hair for my hair. So
yeah, those look great. Bill. I mean, I'm biased because these are my shots here again. But I think you look great. I think the shots look great. This is another awesome one. Is this another one your sister took?
Yep, we were actually taking a family vacation to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we took 2 cars. And I was like, she owed me my birthday present because she's a broke college kid. So I was like, hey, you're gonna take pictures of me in my Cap suit. And she goes, okay, cool.
That's fun. So is that where this is, Tennessee? Yep,
it's in the Great Smoky National Park.
Yeah, those mountains are beautiful. All right, here's this is one of my favorite pictures I've ever done. I think you enjoy it probably almost as much as I do. And
absolutely.
So the backstory for this is you kind of came to me with a picture of Chris Evans, Captain America. You're like, I really want to do a like Bucky Cap kind of mashup, kind of in this style. I was like, oh, that's really a cool idea. I think I can do that. And I have a setting on my camera where you can take a photo and then sort of superimpose that photo onto your screen so that you can line it up perfectly with the next photo. And so I really never tried to do that before, and this was kind of the perfect opportunity for me to try that out, to try to get you just like kind of lined up perfectly. And I don't really do a whole bunch of kind of real heavy photo edits like that, but after we shot, I was pretty excited to see what I could do with this. And once I sat down and kind of started going through it, I started really getting into it, and I was like, oh, I've got to I got really excited about it. And I was smart enough to kind of try to do a little bit of a screen capture of the edit of it, which is what's playing now, because I was like, oh, I was just so proud of myself of how cool it was turning out. But here you can see the 2 separate images that we took and how well they line up with each other. And so what I'm doing here is just kind of basic corrections to both of those, and then I bring them into regular Photoshop, and here you can see me lining them up just as, trying to, it was pretty close to the way it was, but just kind of trying to get it perfect so that the shield and things like that lined up just right, kind of squishing you in a little bit. I think maybe the Bucky arm made you
a little bit bigger.
And so then and so now here we're just masking out half of you.
This is my favorite picture I have. I actually haven't shown you this yet, but I was gifted. Let me pull it out while this plays. I need frames before I can hang anything.
Okay. But I'm excited to see what we've got here.
Find it. I have more
So,
than
yeah,
one.
I around the same time that we took these photos, I had just bought a new printer that's I bought it because it was a good photo printer, and I printed out an 8x10 of this as soon as I could. And I have intentions of printing out a big one eventually when I finally get around to it. Did you find it? Oh
I mean,
man,
like that.
looks awesome, man. Very cool.
Yeah, I got gifted that by my aunt when she saw that picture
Yeah.
originally. She goes, "Hey, I got a present for you," and I was like, "What?" Pulled this out, and there's a couple of your other shots too, and I plan on hanging them up in my.
That's awesome.
We call it the Bat Cave, where all
The cap cave, the Bucky
the
cave.
Cap Cave.
Yeah, I have I don't know, a long-term goal of doing a cosplay like art show sometime and showing some of the costumes and some of my photos and things like that. So I'm kind of waiting for the opportunity to try and do something like that to come along, so I have an excuse to print some of this stuff out great big.
Oh yeah, no, I would too. I would totally. I mean, obviously, I have the one that's gonna go hang up.
One of my I'm not sure, we may have missed it here, but one of my favorite parts of this edit is trying to get your eyes to line up just right. So I ended up erasing both of Bucky's eyes and using both of Cap's eyes, I think. And watching this edit, I think it's here in just a second, because you can see like your eyes. Yeah, here it is. Your eye just looked a little weird the way it was. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna erase her other eye and paste the other one in here. I thought it looked a lot more natural to have both eyes from the same face rather than trying to line your eyes up perfectly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think watching this part of it is so funny.
Oh no, that looks so weird.
Oh, I know. It's so weird, and it looks like something out of, like, I don't know, some crazy horror movie or something.
Now you're just making me look even scarier than I already am.
I know. I'm touching up your makeup.
Hey, it's not my fault that makeup, as much as I try to put on, and as much of the like high-end setting spray that I use that are from like haunted houses and stuff, there's just so much that I wear in a convention center.
Right.
Very hot.
Yeah. It's impossible. It's yeah. And then after I finished kind of all that editing, I saved it out as a JPEG so I could edit it like as a photo again. So I came back in and did a little bit more drastic kind of color editing to get that cool, like, desaturated look that we got in the final print. And that's what this is here, kind of bumping that contrast a little bit, dropping the saturation. And then we brought it back into Photoshop and we made a selection of you here. And so this is just refining the selection, and then now this is when we started bringing in the background. I wish I could skip ahead of this a little bit, but I don't want to lose our spot. Yes, okay. So here we're bringing in our clouds, trying to get our clouds just right. And those are just Photoshop brushes. It's super simple. And then then what I did was I just did a Google search for debris, and we just found one that looked okay. And we just brought that in and made it real big. And that's just about it. Go ahead and scoot to the end. And there's our finished shot. I guess we added a little bit of rain too. All right, so we got to talk about the Winter Soldier Falcon TV show that's hopefully eventually going to come out. So we've got to get your pretty drastically different look for Winter Soldier in this. So we have to get your opinion on his new look.
I love the new look. As a Bucky fan, I love the new look, but I lose my ability to convincingly portray him now because he's chopped off all the hair, and I'm like, well, there goes I'm stuck back with the Winter Soldier.
In in this picture, he kind of just looks like a handsome guy in a turtleneck.
He does. You can't even see the arm in that picture.
Yeah, it looks like his arm's really different. It looks like it's kind of gold or yellow or something, maybe.
Yeah, it's his Wakanda arm. So
Okay.
it's
Oh,
that
is that what
gold
he?
and black.
Did he have that in the end of Endgame? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he had it in Endgame and in Infinity Wars. Technically, yeah, it came in Infinity.
Okay. All right. And I guess that's all the pictures I had. I thought I had one more. All right.
But I'm
So
very excited. I'm sad it got postponed, but I understand why.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not really up to date on what the status of the Disney stuff is. Did they push all of those things that they were planning, or what?
Yeah, everything's been pushed back. I know that they pushed the premieres for Mulan and Black Widow. I don't know what the new are, but I know they were pushed back. I know that Sebastian and Mackie posted when they were in Prague, which is where they were filming when all the shutdowns started. So I know they're not done filming, because that's where they were. I don't know how far they got before they stopped.
Yeah, one of the things for my job that I was working on right before everything started closing was updating the advertisements that they run at the local movie theater, and what they do is they put trivia questions in between all of the commercials and stuff. So I was putting together these slides for them to run their trivia questions, and I was trying to make them like to go with current releases. So it was like an advertising thing, kind of, like hyping all the movies that are getting ready to come out. And doing this is a more involved process than people might realize, because you have to convert your files to a format that movie theater projectors can understand. And so, I mean, I finished this stuff, and it's, kind of a headache getting it to work right on the projector. And then the next day, like every one of those movies that I just put these little trivia things in saying when they were being released all got pushed back or something like that. I was like, well, that was just like 2 days worth of work for nothing. So now when they finally get to open back up, all of that stuff's going to be completely dated, and we're going to be scrambling to put it back together.
No, you just put a warning at the front of it that says what was the original release date for the movie.
Right. Yeah, one of them was Trolls, which I know has already been released on like home video, so they're not even going to have that in theaters. Yeah, I guess the new Scooby-Doo movie's gonna have the same fate, going straight to theaters. Well, I really appreciate you taking some time and joining us and chatting about your awesome Winter Soldier costume.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. It was fun to talk about.
I appreciate it. Hold on, we've got one more. Someone is saying that they want to look as cool as you. Madison, is that your sister? Is she the one that took your photos? Oh, yes. Wonderful photos, Madison. Your sister is very appreciative of your time and your abilities.
Yeah, that is my little sister. She took the pictures for me.
That's awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. We've been here for about half hour, almost 40 minutes, so we should probably let people get back to whatever they were trying to do tonight. I'm going to keep trying to do some of these live streams for the time being, probably every Saturday night. Next week, we're going to have the Portrait Dude. We're going to be talking about camera gear and try to help him. He's camera shopping. He's looking to upgrade his gear, so we're going to talk about his what all different cameras he's been looking at and what he's thinking about maybe purchasing for 2021 con season, maybe if we ever get back to having these events again, which hopefully it won't be too much longer. And I appreciate everybody that kind of listened and commented, especially your sister trolling you a little bit here at the end.
Well, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
All right, awesome. And thank you so much. And thank you guys for listening. And we'll be back next weekend, hopefully. If you're interested in joining the live stream, let me know, because I'll be begging people to help me. All right, bye, guys. Thank you.